Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that be linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Kicking off today with Alexander Lacazette, who has rejoined Lyon. As you can see there, back at the club where it all started for him. He was at Arsenal for 5 years, but now he has officially returned back to Lyon. You can see he's got a big smile on his face there. A Lyon guy through and through. Listen, mixed for him at Arsenal. I was talking about it with James yesterday that, you know, he never really got going at Arsenal. Was a real fan's favourite. We always saw that he gave absolutely everything for the club, but didn't really deliver on the goal count. And, but we wish him all the best going forward in the future at Lyon. It's a guy that leaves the club with, a lot of goodwill from the Arsenal fans. Eddie Nketiah, is he going to be signing his new deal? Well, we hear about that very soon. Arsenal kind of let it slip when they put out their poster for the upcoming game that they're going to be playing over in Germany against Nuremberg, which had Eddie on it. Now, you wouldn't have Eddie on the poster if he's not going to be playing, if he's not going to be signing, because, he'd be out of contract, wouldn't he? So why would you have him on there? But he's on there, so that just goes to show that he is staying at the club. There's not been any talk of him joining some of the clubs he was linked to. Indeed, I see where Crystal Palace, for instance, are looking elsewhere. So Eddie going to be signing on a new deal. Worst kept secret around at the moment. But we're expecting to hear about that imminently. Of course, the transfer window officially opens tomorrow. Doesn't mean that you can't sign players already. We've heard lots of teams already making announcements. Nothing yet from Arsenal, but hopefully maybe we might hear about that one tomorrow once the window opens. Now, of course, I'll just mention two strikers there. One who's gone, one who looks like he's going to be staying. What is going to be the striker that is coming in? Linked today, Richarlison from Everton. Now, really interesting this one because it really does divide opinion when spoken about. On last night's News Daily show, we were discussing this. And, I was saying to James, I'd love to see Richarlison. I like him. I think he's a very, very good striker indeed. Even though maybe his goal count over the years hasn't been right up there. From he was at Watford, though, I've really liked this player. And he's been linked with a move to Arsenal today. He's been linked with a lot of clubs. Chelsea said to be interested in him. Real Madrid, PSG, all said to be interested in Richarlison. Now, Richarlison has apparently told Everton that he wants to leave the club. He was really integral in them staying up last season. He was the guy who was sort of led from the front for Everton and really helped to get him across the line. He showed a lot of mental toughness in that relegation battle for Everton, and it really showed a different side of his game. But can Arsenal get this deal done if they do decide to move for him? Edu, of course, who's Brazilian, and Arteta are said to be admirers of Richarlison and are said to be interested in signing him. However, a lot of the talk coming out is that Richarlison only wants to sign for a team that are in the Champions League. And again, we missed out on that, and that will probably cost us in the signing of a player like Richarlison. He wants to be playing in the Champions League, and you think about it. This is a World Cup year as well, and every player, especially players playing for countries like Brazil, where there's so much competition for that position of striker or forward players. You want to be playing week in, week out, first of all, and you want to be playing at the highest level. So if you play in the Champions League and you shine in that, your chances of getting picked as the number one striker in that Brazilian squad or the number one player in that forward line increases massively. So let's keep an eye on that and see how that happens. I've also seen quotes of up to nearly £65 million that Everton would be looking for him. I don't think they get that. Everton, by the way, you would have thought to yourself that Everton would be trying to hold on to Richarlison with dear life, because he's such an important player for them. But let's remember the losses that they've suffered over recent seasons. I mean, there was a lot of talk that they may have broken the financial fair play rules because of the amount of money that they've spent. They need to really reduce some of their losses drastically. They're building this new stadium. So much as they'd like to keep Richarlison, it probably will be that he will leave this summer. But can Arsenal get that done if they want it? And I want to put it out there to you. Because, of course, we're linked with Jesus. And, Jesus, last year of his contract, would probably be slightly cheaper. Probably about 40 million. I know it says 25 million, but because he's in the last year. But that's going to go up 40. We know Man City are looking for 50. We know Arsenal are still interested in Jesus. Still seems to be their priority as a striker. To get this talks that Arsenal are meeting with his agents to try and get a deal thrashed out. There's also talk that he's also saying that he wants to stay in the Premier League but wants to play in the Champions League. Again, that could be a problem for Arsenal. No Champions League football. But if it came down to the two of them, Jesus or Richarlison, who would you guys prefer? Who would you prefer if it came down to the two of them? Jesus and Richarlison. I'm going to put mine on. I'm going to tell you what mine is, and it's probably quite controversial. I don't know. I don't know if everyone's. Richarlison for me. I'd favour him slightly. I just think he would be good at Arsenal. I think he'd suit Arsenal a lot. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Richarlison or Jesus. Let me know. I'm really, really interested to find out. And give me the reasons why as well. I've been loving the comments that have been coming from you guys. I'm actually going to do a show where I take some of the best comments that you guys put out there and discuss them, because you guys have really been coming with some fantastic comments. But Richarlison or Jesus, would love to hear from you on that. Now, also linked today with this guy. His name's called Manuel Akanji. He's a Swiss international, plays for Borussia Dortmund as a centre-back, right-footed centre-back, valued at around about £27 million. Now, the rumours are that he's been offered to Arsenal, that he's been offered to Edu, and, they've said, listen, you can sign Akanji. Borussia Dortmund have said they've already, are filling that position. Akanji was a regular for Borussia Dortmund last season. Arsenal, though, apparently are not very interested in Akanji. They previously have been interested in Akanji, but now it looks like they've called on it. Reason being, he's a right-footed centre-back, and we're bringing back Saliba. We don't want to upset Saliba anymore by getting in another right-footed centre-back. If anything, when you think about it, Arsenal may need a left-footed centre-back. We've got Gabriel. Pablo Mari's coming back. We're probably going to move him on. We don't really have another left-footed centre-back. So, if anything, that's what we should possibly be looking at. But it looks like Arsenal not going to move in for Akanji. And what about Arthur Melo from Juventus? Remember, in January, he seemed to be a bit of a priority number one for Arsenal. And there was this big thing where Juventus was saying, listen, the only way we'll either sell him to you for about 40, 50 million pounds, which Arsenal said, forget that. Or what we'll do is we'll give you him on a 2-year loan deal. And Arsenal weren't interested in that. They just wanted to loan him till the end of the season. And the whole thing fell over and we didn't get the job done. Now, reports coming out of Italy now are that, again, and Juventus are really cheeky, this club. But again, Juventus are offering Melo to Arsenal, but saying to them, give us Martinelli in exchange, or give us Gabriel, the centre-back, in exchange. Are these guys off their head? I mean, last season, he didn't get a goal or an assist all season, Arthur. I know that when they bought him, he came in really, really highly rated, but his stock has really fallen. And for them to be asking for one of those two in exchange, I mean, they're taking a mick. That's not going to happen. So I don't know where they're going with that. Forget that happening. And I'll be very surprised if Arsenal try to get Arthur done. Although, I think what we're going to have to watch this season as well is, apart from the deals that get done relatively early for Arsenal, Arsenal will, as they always are, be on the lookout for some little bargains that could happen down towards the end of the transfer window. Players that, like an Arthur maybe, that they've not been able to move on, so they have to sell on the cheap, or maybe a loan deal or something like that. So let's keep an eye on that Arthur situation, because they are admirers of him at Arsenal. Not sure what he'd be like in the Premier League. He's a little bit lightweight. He's a very technically gifted player. But I think Arsenal, Tielemans is the guy they want in that area, and I'd be surprised unless they don't get Tielemans if they move back in for Arthur. But let's see how that works out. And what's going to happen with Bernd Leno? Now, of course, Aaron Ramsdale came in last season, took the number 1 spot off of Leno. Arsenal have also bought this goalkeeper, Matt Turner, USA's number 1 keeper. Everybody, all the fans who follow AFTV and that come from America and follow Arsenal have been telling me constantly, this guy, Matt Turner's the real deal. He's a really good goalkeeper. Arsenal looking to move Leno on. They're looking for about £8.5 million for him. Now, there's been a whole load of clubs interested in Leno. Hertha Berlin are said to be the club that are really, really interested. According to Bild over there in Germany. Would Leno go to Hertha Berlin? They only just survived relegation by, the skin of their teeth from the Bundesliga last season. Benfica also said to be another club that are very interested. There's also been interest apparently from Bayer Leverkusen. Does look like he may move on this summer. It's a shame with Leno because he's a really, really good goalkeeper. I really like him. Would be perfect if he stayed, but too good to be a number 2, isn't he? Again, it's a World Cup year. Take that into account with a lot of players this year. It's a World Cup year. If you're a player like Bernd Leno, where you're on the fringes of that German team, you want to be in that squad to go to the World Cup, and you're not going to be in that squad if you're number 2 at Arsenal and not playing. So look for him to definitely move this summer. So those are the rumours for today. Don't forget to subscribe here to AFTV. Check out all of our great content. There's a great video that's Tactical Insight with Graham and James, really looking at players that could come into Arsenal and how they could affect the place. So that's a great video to check out. Invincible podcast coming out as well for the weekend with me and Lee Judges. So make sure you check it out. And of course, we're here every day with Transfer Daily, as well as the News Daily in the evening, where we give you another update. So make sure, just keep it here. We will tell you about all the rumours and run the rule over all of them right here on AFTV. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.